This is my simple van tour of my Citroen Berlingo. It went from looking like this, which was perfectly fine, but it wasn't what I wanted. I changed it to this, and with the curtains it looks like this. The bed. This was made out of an old king-size divan base. I cut some off and repainted it, and it made a perfect bed for what I needed. The bed's 150 centimetres and I'm 171. So if I pull the front seat forward, I gain the extra space that I need. My son-in-law built me a slide-out extension to gain the extra space that I needed, and it's supported underneath on the main floor of the car. If I want to watch telly in bed, I can sit up, or I can lie flat with my little bedside table next to me. And I always leave a bowl of salt to absorb any moisture in the air. Storage. I've got plenty of storage under my bed, which I will go into a little more detail later on. I've got a cubby overhead that holds a tarpaulin and a spare jumper. I've got two cubbies in the roof in the middle of the car, and they've both got USB points, so I can gain some electric for my lights from there, or to recharge things. I've got storage underneath the floor, which I've got my walking sticks and my curtains. Under the front seat is the step and the dustpan and brush and a water bottle. That's the storage from underneath the top end of the bed, and that's the back end of the bed from the side door, which I won't be using very much. I've also got two cubbies at the front of the car above the passenger and driver's seat, and extra storage space to the side of my bed. The pantry. This is situated at the head of the bed, and it stores all my cupboard type foods, tins, packets. I've even got some dried milk because I haven't got a fridge and I would like a cup of coffee and I take milk. So I've got these baby food pouches which are ingenious for putting, that's brown sauce, you could have ketchup, any condiment you like in there. I've also got oil in one of them, and I've also got some different cordials to save carrying different bottles about, so it's all in one neat case, and that stores under my bed. The utility box. This is stored in the middle of my bed. That thin strip just stops it sliding about when I'm driving. It's got all sorts of stuff, and a box full of wires and cables and stuff I need to recharge stuff. Brilliant little heater, you just plug it in, a 3-pin plug. I think it's 400 watts, which doesn't matter when it's when I'm on hookup. And there's all my hookup stuff. There's also some temp pegs and other bits and bobs in there that might be useful. And then I've got a light with a bug zapper thing underneath, if I've ever got my door open. And then the box slides back under, and there's a little lip at the bottom of the box that helps prevent it slide off, which is why there's only a thin piece of wood needed there. The kitchen. I keep this at the end of the bed, and it's got basically everything I need in there for kitchen duties. There's a squashable bowl which will double up as a bath as well, so I can have a wash, because I haven't got a shower or anything yet. I've got the jug so I can make my milk up to make my coffee, and other bits and bobs. This also doubles up as my bathroom. I've got a kettle, mug. I treated myself to a nice bowl and plates and stuff because I could. I did start off wanting to use mess tins, but probably just for breakfast. And then I keep all my cutlery and stuff in there, and I wedged the sharp knife into the sponge there. And then I treated myself to a hob because I was going to use a gas one, but the gas canisters just kept stopped working on me. Even though they were full, they just weren't giving me any power. So I decided, as I was going to have some hookup, I had to get myself an induction hob to cook from, for now anyway. And then it gets stored back under, and the bungee holds it in place. And you can see there the old staples that I removed from the old bed frame. And then the cooker just sits on top, so it just wouldn't quite fit in the box. And then the sugar and coffee are stuck on the side with magnets, so I can quite confidently drive around with them there, and they won't fall off and spill. Carbon monoxide monitor. I wanted to get one of these just to be on the safe side because it's such a confined space. You just never know, better to be safe than sorry. The shelf. I wanted a shelf that would be multifunctional. So not only will I be able to cook from it, but I'll also be able to watch telly on my laptop on it and things. So the table folds out and it has a foot that supports it underneath. And then when it's swung out so I can cook outside, there's a chain that's connected to the car to give it more stability and strength, and also to stop it swinging back and forth. The chain's caught on with a hook underneath, and the hinges are welded on that my son-in-law did for me. He made the whole thing. There's latches all over the place to stop it swinging out or to secure it in place, and most of those have got some foam coating on to stop any rattling. And then it folds away quite neatly out of the way, and I can also hang my curtains around it as well, which you'll see in a bit. I will do another video to show how the table was made. The curtains. I started out thinking naively that I could just magnet them all to the car, but the plastic in the car doesn't hold a magnet. So I bought some silver discs so the magnets have got something to stick to, but they just weren't sticking to the plastic of the car. So I had to rethink it all again. So then I moved on to using some plastic trim with some Velcro stuck onto it, and then Velcro the curtains, which worked, but they didn't look very good. So I had to rethink it all again, and then decided that I needed to keep the blackout curtains, but I needed something prettier to look at. So I chose some material that I thought would blend together nicely, and I sewed my own curtains, and I think you'll agree they look a lot better than they did when they were just the white of the thermal curtains. I can then roll them down. They're hooked up with curtain wire, so I just unhook them, roll them round and put them in the bag, and then I store them underneath my bed, out of the way. The light. This is a brilliant little light. It's got 120 LEDs. It's solar charged, or you can USB it. It's got 5 modes: strong, medium, low. There's a strobe light, and there's also an SOS flash mode on it, so it actually flashes out the letters SOS. It's a power bank, so you could charge your phone or the smaller appliances. It's waterproof. It's got a power level indicator to show you when it's full, when it's not so full, etc. And when it is full, it can run for 48 hours, which is quite good really, because when it's daytime it can be charging from the sun, so you're only really using those hours in the night time. So all in all, I think this is a really good little light for the car, and it's small enough to not be in my way, which is brilliant. And it also has a remote control, which is excellent, because as I open the side door, I automatically just put my hand round to the left like I would a light switch at home and turn it on. Brilliant. Warmth. I found this brilliant hot water bottle. It's about 80 centimetres long. I say that because that's the width of my bed, and it's the same width as my bed. But I figured it's easier to just pop some boiling water in there, shove it in my bed if it's cold, and then I'll be warm and toasty while I fall asleep, because I don't intend being a fair weather camper. I want to get out there in all seasons. I also found this heater. I just find it incredible. It's a 3-pin plug, so when I'm on hookup I can just plug it in. There's different settings, heat settings. There's also a timer on it, and I believe I'm right in saying it automatically shuts off after 4 hours, you know, if I put it on and forget all about it. So I thought that was a brilliant addition to how I could keep warm in the middle of the winter. I mean, it's quite a warm car anyway because of thermal curtains. I have slept out in it in cold weather, and it is warm, but that's just a bit of insurance to make sure that I don't freeze. I've also got a mat near where my feet sit, because where I actually sit sort of to watch telly or whatever, if I'm not out and about, I just sit on my bed. I didn't see the need to change everything from a sofa to a bed. But my feet were cold on the wooden floor, so I've got this mat which is super absorbent for any wet that I might bring in with me. But I did find it was quite slippy on that floor, so I got some of that anti-slip mat and put that underneath, and it's brilliant. So now it doesn't move about at all. So that's how I keep warm in my car. Water. This is where I'll be storing my water, in this jerry can. And thanks to my daughter, who'd got one of these taps, I was inspired to buy one myself. They're brilliant. They charge on a USB, and there's a long hose that goes right to the bottom of the jerry can. Then you fix that on top. It's quite secure. And then you've got the metal tap that the water comes out of, obviously. And then you just press the button on top and it automatically pumps the water out, and it lasts forever, the charge. So I didn't feel the need to have a sink or, you know, a proper wash basin area, because I've got my collapsible bowl, which I will use for having a strip wash or for washing up pots, things like that. But I did need a water source, and I didn't want to keep having to lift the jerry can up to pour water, or get one of those ones with a tap on, because then I've got to find somewhere for that to go to be able to reach the tap. So this was the perfect solution, and it fits really well behind the driver's seat, so I've still got enough room to get in and out. And it's a perfect spot. I can reach it from when I'm sat down inside the car, because obviously there's not a lot of room. It's just perfect. Toilet. I started off with a different toilet than I have today. I did do a video about it called The Toilet Situation, which I found highly amusing. Anyway, so it worked. Everything I said worked. It was brilliant. But I didn't take into account my 50-year-old granny body not being able to cope with squatting and the like. So I had to get something that would be a bit more supportive. So I got myself one of these toilets. It was cheap as chips. I didn't want one with a cassette because they can get quite heavy. So I just needed something that was lightweight, easy. This sits next to the bottom of my bed and it's secured in with a bungee when I'm travelling. So that's nice and secure. It's just a normal toilet seat. It's got a lid inside the bucket part. Obviously that's going to help with smells and the like, and also for transporting it. While it's in transit, I store the toilet paper and bags, that kind of thing that you might need to go with the toilet. And then on a daily basis I shall wander down to the main toilet block or wherever, somewhere sanitary to dispose of it. It's got a carrying handle, it's got a lid on the top, so it's quite manoeuvrable. It's never going to get too heavy for me, so it's perfect. It fitted in at the bottom of the bed. I might make a cover for it so it doesn't look as obviously like a toilet, but who knows, it's only me that needs to worry about it, so it's good enough for me.